Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of My Killer Body Season 1, Episode 3. Third Cut is a Charm. Y'all ready? Let's get started. Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up. Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay? So, welcome back, everybody. And this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Yes, I miss y'all, and I'm hoping that you all miss me too. I'm glad to be back. Anyway, y'all, um, if I had to rate this episode of My Killer Body, Season 1, Episode 3, Third Cut a Charm, I would rate this episode probably a C. Okay. While I am liking this show, um, I'm starting to, I guess, maybe look at it a little differently sometimes. And I know, it's not my job to judge anybody, but some situations I just be like, you know what I'm saying? And I got to tell the truth about it. For all of you all who have been watching on both channels, watching this review on both channels, I've reached out to some of the doctors and some of the people who have been on the show. And I will be doing some interviews very, very soon. I am behind the scenes setting that up now, so that we can talk to them and get a little bit more insight on this show. I think that K Michelle is doing a great job with this show. And I really like her. It has really caused me to kind of look at her a little differently. Sometimes you see things on television or you see celebs on television and you get a total different um how can I say it? I won't say it at all. Anyway, y'all, this week we met again two people who have had botched surgeries. The first person that we met was Elena, and her situation is the title of the show, Third Cut of Charm. So Elena is 43 years old, and she had weight loss surgery. As a result of the weight loss surgery, she lost over 200 pounds. And so she set herself up to get skin removal. The procedures that she had was a upper body lift and a double braca brac I don't even know how you pronounce this. Brachioplasty. Brachioplasty. And so what that required for them to do was to cut her basically from her cotton freaking rooter to her tutor. And then they did, arm removal. Now I've lost a lot of weight and I have, hanging skin in different places, but I'm too scared. Okay. So she ended up having this surgery on her body, and all hell broke loose. Immediately after she left the hospital, her incisions and everything on her arms just start coming apart. She said she was basically taped and glued together. She called the doctors and they told her immediately go to the emergency room. So she found herself in the emergency room. And the doctor, I guess, who did the surgery didn't know how to repair the surgery. Now, you out here to see a doctor to get a surgery done, you would think that they would be knowledgeable about how to put you back together should you fall apart. But they told her to go to the surgery, to the hospital. So she goes to the hospital and all of that. She shows her wounds. Now this show is extremely graphic. They don't hold back anything. And so they show her arm. Her arm is just then completely came apart. She is, she said that when this happened, she has a 9-year-old daughter by the name of Brooklyn. And so when this happened, she was devastated because she was thinking, I can't leave my 9-year-old baby. And I think that for anybody who has a child, right, that's your worst fear is leaving your kid behind. Um, and especially when they're young. When they get to be grown up and you've taught them some things, you got to go, right? We all got to go. But I think that as a mom, I know I would feel better um, than to leave my child at 9, because at that point they don't know anything. They've got to live with family. They're unable to, probably take care of themselves. It's like all those things, having to go through school, grieving over a parent. So there's a lot that, that goes along with that. And so anyway, the daughter witnessed all this stuff. And so we see Ilana start to talk to her 9-year-old daughter about K Michelle coming to the house. And so the little girl is excited and all of that. And so K Michelle comes over to the house and she's talking, to the little girl about, she was saying how scared she was when all of this stuff started going down with her mom. And frankly, I thought the little girl was too young. I don't mean no harm. I ain't mad at nobody, boo. None of that. But I thought that little girl was too young to be having a conversation. Although she was aware about, she was aware of what was going on, to really have that kind of conversation, to talk about the things that she talked about, that the mom talked about around her. I just thought she was too young to know all the ins and outs. The little girl was very intelligent, very smart, said that she was going to be doing the research on this doctor, right? So that she could, find his reviews and stuff like that. And that's all well, fine and good. But I just think that for a child, it's too heavy of a burden to carry. Can you imagine knowing something is happening with your parent and you got to still go to school? You still got to learn. You have to socialize and, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's a lot of pressure on a little girl. But anyway, when Kay Michelle began to have the real conversation with the mother, she had enough wisdom to dismiss the little girl from the room. What that crap is that on my face? Kay Michelle had the wherewithal to dismiss the little girl out of the room. And so she began to talk to her and she told her, she said, you know what? I went to one of these bargain basement plastic surgeons, and I just, and because I didn't want to pay the $16,000 that it was going to cost me to go to a more probably reputable doctor. And so, she said that this is, what happened. She also indicated that she came home and she got up or something like that, and she went to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and she filled the toilet up with blood. Just ooh, just so honey, she ended up going to back to the emergency room, and that's why it's called Third Cut of Charm, because now she's been partnered with Dr. Rubenstein. Dr. Rubenstein has been doing a phenomenal job with changing these women's lives, and that is one of the reasons why I reached out to Dr. Rubenstein. We are trying to schedule a time where he can come on the show and interview with us and talk about plastic surgery gone wrong, what we should look for as women when we are looking for certified, board certified physicians to do these kind of surgeries, because it's not that you should not get them. Anything that you decide to do, any kind of elective surgery that you decide to do, you should absolutely do that, right? But you got to make sure that you do the research and the homework that needs to be done in order to have these procedures. You just can't have everybody cutting on you and all that kind of stuff. And so the next person that I want to talk about, we're going to come back to her. The next person that I want to talk about is Asia. Asia basically won a cotton freaking surgery on Instagram. Now her mom had went to go and see the same surgeon in the Dominican Republic, and she had a tummy tuck. The mom looked fantastic. She showed the picture of the mom. Well, this same plastic surgeon decided to have a giveaway, and you had to do a video indicating why you wanted this plastic surgeon to do this surgery and why you should win this contest. Now, Kay Michelle said, if you're going to enter into a contest, make sure it's for a steak dinner. And I agree. To have a plastic surgeon in another country have a giveaway and you enter in. So she went online, they did the drawing online, and her name got pulled. So she flew out to the Dominican Republic to have this surgery done. She gave a little bit of information about herself. She indicated that when she was 17 years old, she had her first child. And now through another relationship, she has 3 children. She's currently married to someone else, right? She's not married to the baby daddy, but she said that he's been a fantastic bonus dad to her children. But because she had gained all this weight and stuff like that from having children, she decided to go and get a gastric bypass surgery. As a result of the gastric bypass surgery, she lost a lot of weight, but she said for her, she still felt fat, right? She still felt like she was fat. And so she decided to enter into this contest to have this plastic surgery done. So when she flew over there, her segment was called The Contents of My Cut. She had a tummy tuck, a lipo 360, and a Brazilian butt lift. And I'm thinking to myself, how the hell do you lay down? If you got your butt done and the front done and a cotton freaking 360, how do you heal? You would think that these plastic surgeons would break these surgeries down in parts. And that's one of the things that I'm going to ask Dr. Rubenstein. I mean, because I'm thinking about the healing process. You have to, like, how are you laying on your butt and in your back and all of that at the same time? Are you like healing on your side? If you're healing on your side, is your stuff moving over? But anyway, directly after having her surgery, she finds herself with her whole belly button gone. Her whole entire belly button is gone. She said that she found herself in the emergency room. They had to give her a blood bag that she had to put inside of her body and wear that because the belly button was gone. What the hell? Off of a contest. This was a contest that she entered herself into. Her husband had to be her caregiver, and she indicated that during this time period of healing, that she couldn't even be intimate with her husband. And here this man is, no fault of his own. He told her she didn't need to get the surgery, that she was fine the way that she was. But for her, she didn't want to listen to him. She decided that I want to make, this is my body. You know how we are. This is my body. I do what I want. If I want to get surgery, I get surgery. You know, woo, woo, woo. You know, all that big old trash we be talking. But if I'm married and I ain't looking no more, I think that I'll be fine. Like, look, at this age, I don't need you to cut me unless it's necessary. It don't cut me unless it's necessary. Because I gotta be fine with me. Now, at the end of all of this, now that they've, gotten healed, and we'll talk about that process, now you got to have another surgery to correct a surgery. This girl said that not only did they botch the surgery, but she had an infection in her body that would have killed her because they found out, or they believe, or they suspect that this particular surgeon in Dominican Republic was using dirty instruments. The doctor told her that the infection that she had could have killed her. So let's suppose that she didn't have any opening, her skin didn't bust open, she wasn't bleeding all over the place. Let's just suppose for a moment that none of that happened. She had an infection in her body that could have killed her. She said that she was on antibiotics 3 times a day for 2 weeks and was wearing what they call a blood bag. This bag they insert inside of you, and it has a pump that draws the blood out of you. Kay Michelle mentioned that during one of her surgeries, while on stage, that she had a blood bag on her for surgery that she had corrected. She said even when she was on stage and in concert. Right now, Kay Michelle said that because of the surgeries and the corrections that she's had, her concerts are only 30 minutes. Yes, a wound vac. Thank you so much. That's what it was called. I said, okay. Thank you. Yes, a wound vac. And they see that it hums and it makes a lot of stuff. Thank you so much, y'all. Yes, thank you so much, y'all. I knew it was something like that. But I was like, what in the crap? Kay Michelle said that they discovered that when they, during her surgeries, they discovered that she was bleeding a lot or producing a lot of, I guess, blood and stuff like that. She said she had 4 different tubes running out of that wound sac. 4. This ain't no joke. These plastic surgeries can alter your life, and not in a good way. We are so caught up on the images that we see on television, not even realizing that a lot of what we are seeing is photoshopped. It's not even what we think. Here you got 2 mamas that had elective surgeries based on having got gastric bypass surgery that could have left their babies. And both of these women got little babies. Women, do your homework. Men, do your homework when you're going to these surgeons like this. I was devastated for both of them. Brooklyn, being the only child, is intimately involved. She did research and checked the reviews on Dr. Rubenstein, and she didn't find anything. When Ilana, the one that had the whole body tuck, had her surgery done, the first one, she couldn't even lift her arm all the way over her head. One of the things that she wanted Dr. Rubenstein to help her with is to have that repaired. He told her he could not guarantee that she would ever be able to fully extend her arm. Can you imagine that the skin? And then they had these little tucks. Both of them had these little tucks where they didn't know how to pull the skin all the way back down correctly. So they both was left with these little pouches that look almost like envelopes, a reversed envelope underneath their bellies. Disgusting. And these are doctors who are probably doing surgery on women almost like cattle because they market themselves to be affordable. This is just my assumption. They market themselves to be affordable so that they can get more people in. But if you really want the excellent care, you gotta pay the money. And sometimes, even with that, that may not be it. You just got to do your homework to make sure that these doctors are who they are, or who they say they are, and who they represent themselves to be. You want the best of the best in the business when you're doing something like this. Anyway, um, so Elena went to go and see Dr. Rubenstein, and he talked to her, about the surgery, and he went in. And when he went in, he was finding all of this skin that had been uh, tightened, pulled incorrectly, and he went in and corrected. Asia went to a doctor, and I cannot think of what his name is. I'll make sure next week I have his name. But she went into another doctor, and he reversed her surgery, went in and corrected what was wrong with it, and gave her a belly button again. They had to actually go in and pull the belly button back up. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? After Asia came back, her with the surgery from the doctor, her still ruptured because her skin was allergic to, well, it didn't rupture. It opened up a little bit because her skin was allergic to the thread that they used to sew her back up. But it was nowhere near where it would have been. When she decided that she was going to have this surgery, this corrective surgery, her husband wasn't on board. And K. Michelle told her, you need to have your husband on board with you. He told her while he was scared, he would stay there and support her. What a wonderful husband she has. Because these men, both of these women were married, but Elena didn't talk a lot about her husband. But Asia did, because her husband was part of her story. And a lot of times there are men who are in the background loving these women just the way they are. Just the way they are. We have got to, as women, learn to love ourselves in the skin that we're in. And yes, 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 we want to make improvements. If I could improve some things, I absolutely would. But I ain't gonna die over it. And I ain't gonna almost die over it. I'm not gonna do it. Not worth it to me to die over a surgery. Not worth it at all. But anyway, y'all, these two women got their surgeries corrected and they are better for it. Alina ended up being able to take her arms fully over her head. She couldn't do this, and she's able to do all of that. Dr. Rubenstein did a great job. He did a great job. These doctors are phenomenal. And one of the things that I like about it was both of them said this is the longest they've ever been in the doctor's office. They didn't even have an opportunity to talk to the doctors. The other lady said she met her doctor, 15 minutes? How in the hell you going to do surgery on me and I've only talked to you for 15 minutes? That's all you can give me? But I'm coming back in and I'm getting major surgery. Major surgery. Do your homework. Weigh out all the options. Make sure that this is something that you can do safely and responsibly. Y'all, that is the end of my review. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you all to pieces. And until next time, bye, y'all. See y'all later.